Now, I'm going to show you a full 5x5 example solve using the method I just taught you. So, I'm going to start with my white and yellow centers. In this case, I'm going to start with white. So, we have two pieces of the middle bar already solved. We can use this plus center to finish off the inner bar. Like so. Now, we have these two pieces that can be used to form an outer bar. And we have one X center over here. We can use either of these three, but I'm going to choose this one because it's already correctly aligned with where it needs to go. So we can just bring it over like this. And now we can insert this bar to the top. Now we have this X center, this plus center, and this X center. Let's first pair these up and also bring both of these into the middle layers. We can pair these up like so. But before doing that, make sure that this empty slot is on the left, because if you pair them up from this angle, your first two bars will get disrupted. So hold the empty slot in the left, pair them up, and now I'm going to do a U to bring them to the left slice, which I know is empty, and bring it down so it's in one of the middle layers. This will make it easy to finish off the last bar. So we have these two pieces and this one. Let's move this to the top left so it's aligned with this empty spot and finish off this bar. Now we can just insert it to the top layer like that. Now we have no plus centers attached to the yellow center, so let's attach this one. I'm going to move it up. Now move it out of the way and then restore my white centers. Next, I'm going to use this plus center to finish off the inner 1/3 bar. I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did for this piece. Move it up, move the bar out of the way, and bring this back down. Next, what I can do here is actually use this plus center and use these two X centers. I'll just move the plus center over here and then insert it in between these two. And then I can insert it to the top layer. I'll move it up, move these out of the way, and then restore my white center. Finally, we just need to pair up these two and this, like so. Once again, we can't directly move this to the top layer because it disrupts our white center. So we're going to keep it in the same slice as the bar that we've already inserted. We're going to move this empty bar spot down, move this to the right, and restore our center. And we're done with our first two centers. Now, looking at our last four centers, let's utilize this already built green inner 1/3. I'm going to hold it vertically, and now I'm going to use this X center and these two pieces to form another 1/3. First, I'm going to pair this up with this plus center. Next, I'm going to pair this with these two. Again, if we keep it in this slice and we bring it down, no matter how we move this, it won't pair up with this X center. So we want it to be here. We can move it either up or down. I'm going to move it down. Bring these two over to here and restore. And now I can just insert it next to this green bar. Now we have two X centers solved over here and the last plus center over here. So what I can do is align these, slice down the plus center, move this bar out of the way, and then restore our middle green bar. Now I can simply insert this like so. Moving on to the red center, there are no plus centers attached to the center, so let's attach this one. We move it down to pair these up, move it out of the way, and then restore our green center. Now, let's hold these horizontally so we can insert our last plus center here. I'm going to use this one. So, bring this down to pair it up. Put the bar vertically so it's not in the way of this slice, and then restore your green center. Next, I already saw this bar over here. So, I'm going to insert it to the red face, move these two out of the right slice, and then restore my green center. Finally, we have this case with two X centers and this plus center, which is identical to what we had for the third center. I'm going to align this with this, slice down to pair it up, move it out of the way, and slice back up to restore our centers. And now I can just insert this over here normally. Now, as you can see, we already have our inner blue 1x3 built. So now what I'm going to do is use these two and this X center to finish off this bar like so. Move it into the right slice and bring this back down. I'm going to hold these two bars on the left. Now we have this case. I'm going to move these to the top, move them out of the right slice, and restore my centers. Now we run into this case. I'm first going to insert this last X center to the right slice. By moving this up, moving this into the right slice, and moving it back down. Now we run into this case. This is the case where no matter how we slice, we can't form a 1x3 bar directly. So first, we want to move this to the bottom right without disrupting these. So we keep these out of the right slice, move this up, bring it to the front right, and then bring it back down. And now you simply need to pair this up with these two, move them into the right slice, and finish off your centers. So now let's move on to our first 8 edges. I'm going to start by solving the white-orange edge. We have another white-orange edge over here and the last one over here. So first, let's pair these two up. We have different colors in the front, so we insert with F, R prime, F prime, R, and we slice to pair them up. Now we flip the cube over because the last piece is over here. These have the same color in the front, so we insert with R, U prime, R prime, and we slice both of these over like so. Now we replace with an unsolved edge in the top layer and restore our centers. Next, I'm going to move on to yellow, red. We have one piece here, one here, and one here. So first, let's solve these two. We insert this to the middle layer, slice to pair these up. Then we insert this to the middle layer, slice to pair these up. And now we replace this with an unsolved edge in the top layer and restore our centers. Next, I'll probably do the blue-red edge because we have two solved over here and one over here. As you can see, this should be in the same slice as this because from here, if I try and pair them up, these are not going to match up and it's going to push the other edge out of the way. So let's flip this edge. Now I'm going to pair this up over here. I'm going to replace it with a random edge in the top layer and I'm going to restore my centers. Next, I'll probably go for the yellow and green edge. One is here, and the last one is on the bottom layer. So let's solve these two first. We insert this to the middle layer, slice to pair them up, flip the cube over, insert this to the middle layer, slice to pair them up, replace them with an unsolved edge in the top layer, and restore our centers. Next, I'm going to go for white red. We have one over here, and one over here. Let's first pair these two up because they're already in the correct position. Now we're going to insert this edge over here and slice to pair them up. I'm going to replace them with an unsolved edge in the top layer and restore our centers. Next, as you can see, this is a special case that I taught you how to solve in the first 8 edges section. We have these two and this one. So I'm going to insert this into the same slice as this, that is the top. I'm going to slice to push this edge out of the way, flip this edge, and then slice back to solve them. Next, I'm going to go for the white blue edge. Now I'm going to replace it with an unsolved edge in the top layer. Now here we have a really nice case for white blue. These two wings are solved and this midge can be solved over here just like that. So now we replace this with an unsolved edge in the top layer and restore our centers. Now as you can see, we have 4 solved edges on this layer, so let's hold it on the bottom because now we can't store any more edges here. Next, I'm probably going to go for the green and orange edge. We have one here, and one here. Let's pair these two up first. They have the same color in the front, so I can't slice them over to pair them. So I'm going to flip the midge. Now I'm going to slice to pair these up. Now I'm going to insert this to the middle layer and finish off this edge. Then I'm going to replace it with the last unsolved edge on this layer and restore my centers. Now we're done with our first 8 edges, 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So let's move on to our last 4 edges. The first edge I'm going to do is yellow-blue. As you can see, the last yellow-blue is over here, which is good for us. We can move this empty slot to here, like so. Flip this edge to put this wing in the top slice. And now when we restore our centers, we're done with the yellow-blue edge. Next, I'm going to move on with orange-blue. The other orange-blue edge is over here. Again, it's in an advantageous position. We can slice this empty slot over to here, flip this edge to put this in the bottom slice. And now when we restore our centers, orange-blue is also done. Finally, we are left with our last 2 edges. As I mentioned in the last 4 edges section, you want to solve either one of these edges, and then the other one will either solve itself or you'll get a case for which I've already taught you an algorithm. So I'm going to solve the red and green edge. First, I'm going to solve this wing along with this midge. I'm going to slice to pair them up, flip this to put this on the bottom out of the top slice, and restore my centers. Next, I'm going to solve the last green-red wing over here. So I'm going to move this empty slot over to here, flip this edge to bring the wing to the top. And now when I restore my centers, all of my edges are done. And now I can just solve this like a regular 3x3.
Well done.